Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Baron here, and I'm flying the B7A2 Japanese torpedo bomber. And I'm taking off an aircraft carrier because this plane was designed as a aircraft carrier launched torpedo bomber and dive bomber. And what's interesting is I was never really aware of this plane, honestly, until War Thunder was basically like, hey, we're going to put this plane in the game. And yeah, we are over the map Saipan. And I'm in historical battles in a custom battle because I wanted to check out. There we have the bigger Saipan and then the smaller Tinian, which are part of the Marianas Islands. So, or Mariana Islands. Interesting map, and look at how sluggish this thing is. But it's got two 20s, and it's got a rear gunner, which I believe is 13 millimeters. So decently heavy machine gun there on the back. And this plane didn't really see much service because, as you can see, it's a very big plane, especially when you consider it would be launched off an aircraft carrier. And at the time these planes were pretty much completed and ready to go into battle, the Japanese didn't really have the carriers to put them on, and especially no carriers that were big enough. So it looks like our carrier fleet is screened by, I believe it's some, since it's a 3-stack, it looks like a Kuma class light cruiser. Then we got our 4 carriers in the back, and then we have another 4 Kumas going towards Saipan. These ones seem to be going straight for the strait between Tinian and Saipan here. So as the Japanese, you start off on the carriers, and the American forces also spawn from their carriers. And it looks like, if you look at the map, yeah, you can see there's 2 capture points, but then if you look in the northern part of Saipan, basically in D14 there is an airfield. So way over there to our left, there's a little island there. I almost thought that might be some more screening carrier forces. So it looks like, what are all those dots? That's strange. That's very weird. Could those be bombers? There's nothing to indicate that they would be. You'd see something in the bottom left corner. But this, look at Saipan. It's got all this rough mountain area, which is what the Japanese entrenched themselves in, because the Americans, when they went to invade this island, they bombarded the crap out of it. Now, they weren't necessarily very effective because it was a pretty heated battle. And here you can see Capture Point B with its basically 2 airfields, one of which is rather substantial. Looks like it's capable of maybe even launching, small, medium-sized bombers. The one over on Tinian looks more fighter-based. Also some mountainous terrain, and even maybe a 3rd airfield over there. So there's a number of airfields. Oh, excuse me. So 1, 2, 3, and then there's Capture Point A, which is the protected airfield. Now, I think I'm not sure if that airfield over there is protected by AAA. I would imagine it would be. But it looks like, I'm still very curious what all those dots are. It could be a glitch of some sort like that. But we have a number of landing craft, and it looks like there's 3 groups. And then the Americans also have 4 carriers. And it looks like, oh, they do have some heavy cruisers. Maybe some Pennsylvania classes. 2 destroyers, 2 heavy cruisers. So they have 6 destroyers and 2 heavy cruisers compared to the 8 light cruisers that the Japanese have. And then they have 3 landing craft groups. So I do have an 800 kilo bomb on, I believe. I did not opt for my torpedo, but, if we have time, we can always rearm after dropping it. I'm going to strafe these landing craft because they are likely going to be going for, looks like Capture Point B is on Saipan, A on Tinian. So let's see, do we have air brakes? We do have air brakes. Check those bad boys out. And we're going to be just strafing. Look at that. Look at the water. We gotta... Tell you what, it's AAA. The small rounds seem to be bouncing off this thing. I've seen some flashes hit. All right, there was a... They're starting to do a little better now that I talked about them. They're a little angry now. But I tell you what, I think when it comes to like historical, or I guess realistic battles now as they're calling it, because they never really were truly historic, the geography, I would say, is historic, or rather geographically accurate, geologically accurate too, given the structures of the mountain ranges and all that stuff. You have kind of the local flora and fauna you'd see. Nice little... A lot of airfields you can crash land on without having to totally scrap your plane. So it looked like dropping our air brakes then was not a very good choice. So we have two destroyers that are kind of getting pretty close to these two landing groups. As far as that landing group's concerned, the heavy cruisers and... Oh wow. Excuse me. There's some heavy cruisers also over there. So there may be 4 heavy cruisers and 4 destroyers. And I believe last time I checked out Saipan, it was all destroyers, and I believe it was maybe 12, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember. So here it looks like Tinian is where the main action's taking place, although we've got probably some pillboxes and artillery positions, and it looks like that the southernmost landing group has already hit the beach at this time. So we're going to go for this line of 3 and see if we can't pop them. Now we're using our 20s and they are firing kind of slow. Huh. Let's see if we can't pop them with our tail gunner here. You know what? We're just going to drop one bomb and see what it does. So we got a double with an 800 kilo bomb. Not necessarily worth it. We have medium tanks. And I would imagine they're Sherman Rhinos, because I think on most Pacific maps we generally see, if there are, they could be Stuarts. Maybe something light. Actually, they probably are Stuarts since they're launched. Let's see. No, they're M3 Grants. No, those are Japanese tanks. Alright, so. Look at all that. Oh my. Hello, Hellcats. Oh, we reloaded our bomb, although we are on historic. Real now. I'm gonna see if I can't drop it right on the beach and hope to get both a tank. Let's check this out. 800 kilo bomb, only one, but we only have a 35 second. So while you would not be able to do this, my choice of 800 kilo bombs was poor. We're getting a really good view of this network of islands here. We have Vladimir and his P-26. So these are carrier-borne F6Fs is what we saw. So is Vladimir the only one left? I'm not going to shoot down Vladimir as he's in a pea shooter. He's no real threat to me. Watch him shoot me down now that I say that. Most of the action seems to be over Tinian. But in what historically happened in this battle, look at all these F6Fs. I'm kind of a little nervous flying close to these guys. These guys would chew me up. He's kind of dolphin diving, it looks like. I don't think they really know what they're doing. Well, I'll tell you what, we ran out of ammunition, but the timing was pretty good. So we're going to try to keep these tanks off of this airfield. That should be the objective. Are any of them kind of close enough to maybe I could get a double shot? I have to zoom in. It doesn't look like it. So we'll just get them. Oh man, as close to a direct hit as you could. I mean, aside from getting an actual direct hit. But I'm a big fan of these, but when the Americans went to bombard this, they used 15 battleships. I know, right? Insanity. And fired over 165,000 shells. So our cannons are reloaded, our bombs are not yet. Let's check this out. Looks like we have someone on our tail. Ooh, we took a bit of damage here. So, oh, Vladimir, what are you doing? Vlad the Impaler here. But this thing is sluggish. It's kind of slow. Another Japanese tank. Right on his engine block. Our engine is about to go out. So this is kind of just Saipan. It's gorgeous. Actually, this is Tinian, but the map Saipan. New map, new plane, the B7A2. Something that the Japanese could really use is... Here we go. Go. Get rid of Vlad. Alright, you need to go down, because I need to land, my friend. And you know what? This is what air brakes are for. We're going to drop our bomb. We don't want to have that hanging off. Look at that. Only you can prevent forest fires, kids. Remember that. Oh, Vlad. Look at the facilities here. Wondering if one of those may have a hot tub. Something nice, you know, you can just hop into. That's what happens, Vlad. You gotta get out of here. So nice little preview here. Pretty cool map. Not exactly what historically happened, but the map is a lot of fun. It'd be cool to see, you know, battleships bombarding stuff, but that would probably be happening once we get closer to tanks. That was a little preview on the B7A2. It can carry a torpedo, an 800 kilo bomb, and I'll show you real quick what else it can do. So we will return to the hangar and we'll go over the weapon systems on it, since we got our nice little preview of the map. Alright. So, weapon systems. You got the 800 kilo bomb, 857 kilo torpedo, or alternatively, you could carry 6 total bombs, 4 60s and 2 250s, or 10 60 kilo bombs. If you're looking at carpet bomb, maybe a couple, you know, entrenched ground targets. But this plane is now sitting at, let's hop out of here. It's taking at the new tier 3, and at that level the Japanese don't really have, you know, they don't have a torpedo bomber. The only bombers they do have at tier 3 are these Kai 49s, which are mediums. You know, naturally they are a little slower, a little bigger, a little easier targets, and not as good at dive bombing. So this is your de facto tier 3, and after tier 3 you only have some heavies to go with. So the plane's fun, and I think the Japanese could definitely use this. The B7A2, I think the biggest detractor from using this is the fact that it has no offensive weaponry, unless of course, you know, you're gonna tail flip with your rear gunner and shoot at light targets with that. But this bad boy has 20mm cannons, and it has 120 rounds per gun, and then you have your rear facing heavy machine gun, or 13.2mm. So pretty fun plane to use. Japanese definitely need it, definitely could use it. Japanese benefited the most from patch 1.37 with 7 new aircraft, and if you want to see any of those, check the video description below for any relevant links you may want. Make sure to subscribe and go ahead and pull the trigger on that like button. Looking forward to closed beta tanks. Looking forward to patch 1.37. My name is Baron, and as always, thank you for watching. We're flying the P400, the Bell Air Cobra. Now, what is interesting, there's a couple of things, and I think they're just discrepancies or oversights about this aircraft, which we'll talk about. But we're on the new map, Iron Range. Looks great. It's kind of got that, you know, Arizona Grand Canyon type feeling with some nice snow caps to it. So I like how a lot of the new maps are kind of adding